The lethality of the falling bloody dust during the apocalypse will be disastrous for life on earth. When the second angel sounded his trumpet, a great mountain fell from heaven and turned the sea to blood. 1/3 of all life in the sea died. Later, the second angel poured his vial on the sea. Again, the sea turned to blood. This time, all life in the sea died. The death of every living soul in the sea means that all marine species will become extinct. The apocalypse will be what is termed an extinction event. In spite of the extinction of all marine life and likely most terrestrial species, the apocalypse extinction event is far different from historical extinction events, or at least what scientists believe previous extinction events to have been. Past extinction events are known to us through the fossil record. Estimates of the number of events vary depending upon the threshold criteria for defining an event. Generally, scientists agree that there have been 5 major extinction events. The events are named after the geologic era in which they occurred. These extinctions are believed to have occurred many millions of years ago. Each of them took hundreds of thousands or millions of years to kill off large percentages of the biosphere. Extinction events are framed by and constrained by their timing. They are placed within a larger system of chronological dating called the geologic timescale. The geologic timescale is a chronology of Earth's geologic and biologic events. The geologic timescale is defined by Earth's stratigraphy and radiometric dating. Strata have been sequenced and then dated by various types of radiometric dating. However, differentiating strata is difficult and radiometric dating is unreliable. At its core, the geologic timescale bears little resemblance to Earth's physical stratigraphic record. Both uniformitarianism and evolution require extreme periods of time. The geologic timescale has been constructed to support these philosophies independent of physical reality. The interrelationship between evolution and geologic timescale, in fact, has become an exercise in circular logic. Uniformitarianism and Darwinian evolution require that geologic time and past extinctions occur over vast expanses of time. Many millions of years define geologic eras and evolutionary progression. Extinction events, which form transition points for the disappearance of old species and the appearance of new species, must be placed in the timeline to accommodate the slow pace of evolutionary change. However, the apocalypse extinction event demonstrates that uniformitarian and Darwinian requirements do not necessarily constrain an extinction event. The coming extinction will not take millions of years to kill off species. It likely will be a matter of weeks or months. All the marine life in the seas was killed when the second angel poured out his vial and the seas became blood. In literal terms, red dust fell from Mars into the ocean, eventually settling on the ocean floor. The poisonous dust polluted the waters, turning them red and killing aquatic life. The process didn't take long. As we noted previously, the carving out of Valles Marineris took a matter of minutes. Dust and rock was sent into space and electrically transferred to Earth. Judging from the speed of transfer demonstrated in this experiment, it would have taken minutes or hours for the dust to reach the surface of Earth. There are two more extinction events which are not accounted for in this accepted geologic timescale. Like the apocalypse extinction event, these extinctions violate the assumptions of uniformitarianism and Darwinian evolution. That is why they are absent or, more likely, misnamed and misplaced in geologic time. The apocalypse extinction event will kill off all marine life, all its families, genera, and species. It will be the most devastating extinction event in history. Currently, the Permian-Triassic extinction event is considered the most deadly, earning the moniker the Great Dying. The Great Dying killed off 96% of all marine species. The apocalypse extinction event will kill off 100% of all marine species. Major extinction events are not limited to the oceans. Every major extinction has taken its toll on land animals as well. During the Permian-Triassic extinction, 70% of all terrestrial vertebrate species became extinct. It was also the only known mass extinction of insects. John's account does not describe a terrestrial extinction, but the Doctrine and Covenants does. In a revelation to Joseph Smith in 1833, the Lord informed the prophet that at his coming, every beast of the field, fowl of the air, along with fish in the sea will all be consumed. Every form of life will become extinct. Isaiah prophesied that the earth would become empty of life. Man will not become extinct, but will barely survive. Our premise that the Exodus and the Apocalypse are mere events, catastrophes caused by the same planetary agent, Mars, raises an important question. Could the Exodus have been an extinction event? Shouldn't similar worldwide mortality be expected when the cause is the same? The Mosaic account does not describe an extinction event per se. The account focuses, appropriately enough, on Egypt and its immediate environs. However, the description of the plagues does allow for the possibility of a global extinction if the mortality rates are extended worldwide. For example, we know that all marine life in the Nile and, indeed, in all waters throughout ancient Egypt died. The red dust from Mars was lethal and killed every form of sea life it touched. Its mortality rate in Egypt was the same as it will be during the apocalypse: total. Given the global nature of the Exodus plagues, it is reasonable to assume that the dust was just as lethal in the oceans. Certainly, the plague did not kill all marine life. There are no total mass extinctions of marine life reflected in the geologic column, but all 5 major extinctions were mass extinctions of marine life. The plagues of Egypt did not kill off all land animals, even in Egypt. The cattle of Egypt died, but the Lord preserved the cattle of Israel. The Exodus was likely a marine extinction event, though we can't say for certain. Whether or not the Exodus was an extinction event, it was certainly large enough to be reflected in the geologic column. The nature of the Exodus event, as we shall call it, should have created large numbers of fossils, which, in turn, should have created their own stratum.